I say that we're here for one reason and one reason only.
It's hard to describe the feeling.
It's been a long time coming. The feeling, haven't had it for a long time.
What it all still means.
It's a spirit that not many cities have.
Bucks, go Bucs!
A pride that few really know.
What an excited group this is.
It's for all of Tampa Bay.
You play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you say, I don't want it to be us.
It's like a photograph.
Tampa Bay selected Derek Brooks.
A moment in time from years ago.
What a day.
The first thing I want to say is the buck stops here.
Except it's right now. This is what it looks like. The ones keeping this ship on course. United, the crew of Tampa Bay. This is our legacy, our tradition, and the next generation of Buccaneers.
Welcome, Leroy's, fellas.
It's a bridge between the past and the present for the flag bearers of this new era. And even though the names change,
Number 63 leading the charge, Leroy Selman.
the legends that came before us live on. We arrived here in different ways. Now we're here for the long haul. It's time to move our legacy forward. This moment belongs to us.
We're tearing down the goalposts here at Tampa Stadium.
There's decades of pride in these threads.
Tampa Bay defense not giving up at all.
The names on the back will change,
Boy, deep, wide open.
but their DNA is sewn into the threads.
First victory ever for the Tampa Bay Bucs.
This is our legacy, made new. This is not a throwback. It's the core of who we are. It's for the OGs, the day ones, and the generations still to come. And to the ones who understand this feeling, it's simple. Whatever time or place.
Oh my God, that is what I'm talking about. That is what's up. Fire the damn cannons, the Creamsicles, aka the Dreamsicles. That is what's up, y'all. Look, gracious, glorious day. We finally get a chance to get the throwback, that sexy ass orange, red, and white. Because we stay up for the fight. That's what I'm talking about, Bucs fans. Look, what's up, y'all? Look, we here. It is the Bucs report the aftermath. And I'm telling you, today was an aftermath. For Buc fans out there, I know you already. You've been on the social media, Twitter. We had a field day with this shit. Yes, Sean. The Creamsicles are back. I call them shits the Dreamsicles because we about to be like that. So you guys are in tune, and stay tuned for a hell of an episode tonight. We're going to talk about this, the rapid reaction of fans all over. We had, for the most part, everybody was down with it for the most part. You had some doubters, but we'll talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to break down the best jerseys throughout the Bucs franchise. We have to go with that. We got to do it. But, yes, so you already know it's AJ turn up here. We got my man Slick, the British guy who's always fly on standby. And you already know what it is. He about to give us the biz. What's good?
Everything's good, baby. I've just come back from the coaching conference, feeling good about myself, ready for this season to finish it off. And now the Buccaneers have got the creamsicle on, so we're gonna get a bit of creamsicle action going on. I always wear a creamsicle every year. It's got to be done. You know, I call it the Creamsicle Crush Day.
Creamsicle. Ooh, I like that. Creamsicle Crush Day. CSD. Creamsicle. Oh yeah,
Not intended.
CCD. Creamsicle Crush Day. I like that. CCD. Creamsicle Crush Day. I like that shit. That's actually dope. But yeah, man, it's Buck fans. It's too long. It's been way too long. And for everybody out there who are talking about they wish they would have had it when Brady was here, that's gravy. But this actually might be the better time because the Bucs, we need that true marketing, and this was good strategic marketing because that Brady's absence. We already have seen the league and the media has turned their backs on us. So this is good. The biggest thing that I want to give away to the Bucs, when we play in these uniforms, when you come out there with that creamsicle on, you have to put the bed the past. I don't want people to say, "Oh, this reminds me of the Bucs when we was garbage." When we play in these uniforms, we have to put a beating on that team. And what I mean, when we play Detroit in October, we need to stomp the Lions. I know it's a tall order, but we'll see. They're a team that's up and coming, but so are we, damn it. Buck players, you got to put them away. At least a 17-point win. Anything less, we don't want them to think back of the old bad creamsicle days, because the Bucs have actually won wearing the creamsicles in the present. I'll give you a good one. Josh Freeman, 2009. He came in, had a comeback win against Green Bay Packers and the beloved Aaron Rodgers. So there is miracles. We can make it happen.
Miracles.
But besides all that, Slick, what else? Like, how do you feel? What was your first response when you saw it?
My first response was these look exactly the same as the ones that the Levante David came out going, yeah, they look a little bit different. And the only difference is the numbers are not on the shoulder, it's now on the arm. It's the only difference I can see from the jersey that was released back then to that's the only difference. But it doesn't matter. It still looks fresh. It still looks good. In fact, to be honest, I'm a little bit more relieved. I thought they might play with it too much. Maybe they could have kept some of the Buccaneers branding. Maybe they would have kept the word Buccaneers across here and would have done that in a creamsicle color, maybe like in the red. Yeah. But it's not truly a throwback if you're sticking your new logos all over it. So I'm more than pleased with how they came out. Bit puzzled to why you can buy a Brady creamsicle, but I suppose they're still living off the fact that Brady did play for the Buccaneers, so if they can get a couple of Brady Buccaneers jerseys sold, then they will. But I imagine they're the first ones to go in the bargain bin.
I was about to say, yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. The freshest thing was that fucking helmet. That helmet was tough. I was like, wow. Now imagine if they get that helmet in orange, though. Woo! If they can make that helmet orange, shit, that could be a $300 helmet. I'm getting it. Oh, I will get that helmet. I will get it. And the jerseys, of course, my 3 jerseys I have to get. I got to get Evans. I got to get Winfield, and I got to get Wirfs. AWW. I got to get that's the all crew. That's the all crew.
See, okay, so this is where I'm puzzled on a current book, but I did notice on the store they have a Rondé Barber, and with the Hall of Fame around the corner, I think a Rondé Barber one. I need that in the collection, so that's got to go in. Yes. But then it's who I'm going to go with, and I'm like, everyone's on 1-year deals at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that Winfield's going to sign. I'm pretty sure Mike Evans will re-sign. Obviously, Levante David, it will be to do with health reasons, I think, more than anything else with him.
I'll tell you this. Let's say if the Bucs get to the divisional conference playoffs, Levante will be back. And if the if the offense has an upside, like say if the Bucs offense, as we hope and we speak in existence, show promise, where it's like Levante's like, shit, we actually got a chance of being contenders next season. I'll come back on a little small deal to get that second ring. Because look, Levante's going regardless, but 2 rings, he's unanimous after that point. Levante has the numbers to already get him in there, but 2 rings, unanimous. Damn, to be honest, that would put him in the worlds of a Ray Lewis, because Ray Lewis got 2. Oh man,
Ray Lewis got 2, and there's not many of us that have. But Sean Spencer joining us with the that Doug Williams creamsicle for me. I'd rock that all day. I appreciate that.
I bet you would.
He's our resident Commodores fan, so he's more than welcome to rock it with us. He can rock that. He can rock that creamsicle all night long if he wants with us.
Hey, you know what, Sean? I ain't gonna lie. That would be actually good. That would be a due diligence to Doug. Doug was that guy. You know what would be really sweet is if there's like one game where they can have like a throwback and have 79. That's the first year that the Bucs went to the NFC title. Woo! They need that. I wish they would do that. Like have numbers on the great years of the Bucs: 79, 2002, and then 2020. Oh shit! Look, NFL, y'all need to get me in there. I got ideas. Glazers, talk to
this
them.
guy knows his marketing.
Yeah, I know the marketing. Can you imagine that? Just think about it. 79. For Buck fans who were alive around that time, that would bring so much nostalgia back. The Jimmy Giles of the world, Doug Williams, the Leroy Selmans, and also a shout out to Leroy. Slick, my family in Tampa went to church with Leroy at St. John's. Yeah, good guy. Very good guy. So again, Leroy, thank you for being one of the greatest Bucs to ever put on a uniform and being our very first pick and establishing a franchise that loves defense. Because at the end of the day, we are a defensive-minded team. That's why Bowles, I'm gonna try. You're our coach. I'm gonna put my faith into you. The defense isn't a problem. Let's make that. We want the same intensity of defense into coaching and on the offense and coaching. Now, for me, take away that damn cushion, and then we all right. I need that cushion to be 30%. 30%.
I watched an interesting thing on Cushion at this coaching convention where they had their corners off at 8. Have their corners off at 8 every single play without fail, and all the corners do is read for the first few seconds. I was like, well, yeah, but you can do that while you're moving. And I was like, why do you have them at 8? And they're like, oh, well, they can just sit there and focus on their read. And so, well, if you can teach them how to backpedal or shuffle while they read at the same time, then you don't need to do that. You just looked at me like, yeah, well, we don't do that. I was like, okay, hey, I'm not telling you how to run your defense. They won a championship, so.
Hey, I tell them because in real life, when you play against a real team, I'm going to tell you this like right now. I will tell them to their face, if you play 8-yard cushions, I'm going to blow your defense out. You know
what I do? It's as simple as this. Fakes.
Yes.
Make you put on the fake, and then as soon as you put on the fake, I'm going to go.
Yes.
And sometimes I won't even need to fake because you're having to get that read, and you've got to go hard. So all I'm going to do is go. I'm going to get my hitches will be my fucking saviors for this. I'm going to say run as fucking hard as you can, and then put in the ground, turn around. I'm going to bang you the ball every single time when they get to play like that because it's that hard running that fucking freaks them out.
Yeah,
they start moving. Yeah.
Or
and when they start coming down, going, oh, he's gonna do his thing, hitch and go.
Yep, and let's be real. For the most part, your typical corner, when he is a guy who can play off, they usually are coverage type. They're not hitters. So if I have a Steve Smith or a Calvin Johnson type of receiver out there, your corners are going to have a long ass day because we always talk about it, Slick. You always say you don't want a receiver, especially a big receiver, to pick up steam while you're 8 yards and your corner. Let's say if your poor corner is 5'11" and you got a 6'4", you got a McCaff for a receiver. Now you're just not being fair to your corner. Because eventually he's going to get tired and he's going to get worn out. And then when you finally decide to play bump and gump, then he's going to be too bruised up. And then I'm going to say, all right, go route. Cushion, I will have a field day with it. Or I'll just do a fucking crossing route. I'll just cross route you to death or slant you to death. This where the Michael Thomases will be.
Just loads of quick hitters. That's all you need is quick hitters. Boom, 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 boom. Because you're playing off, you're going to create space.
Yes, for God's sake, guys. We get it. We understand everybody isn't going to be a shutdown corner. But if I have a front seven.
Also, I just want to reiterate, we don't play NFL rules. We play college rules where you are allowed to fucking mess people up. So that's probably why that they kind of, because if you run a slant, most of these people will have a outside backer that's apexed from the line of scrimmage who will just nail any slant, any in breaking route to him, which you can't do in the NFL. Yeah. So that's probably why it would work in the NFL, but not quite as much in college. Yeah, that's the beauty of football. There's so many different ways to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
No one's right, no one's wrong. I love it.
No, and that's why I love football, because you're right. And you have some coaches that go by schemes, and then you have coaches like myself. I go by your players. Like you just said, some linebackers, I'll take that risk. Your fucking linebacker's slow. And if he has Devin White vision, then he might not even know how to get the right gap, and the receiver will go right past him. But you're right. And what's up to everybody out there? Again, please,
Christopher Cole.
Christopher Cole, how you doing, my man? Thank you for tuning in. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to just type them in. Slick and I, we are here to talk about Bucs football. This is what we love. This is what we do. And we're here. But this creamsicle thing is a beauty, because now I've always loved it. Because on Twitter, you had some guys that said, "No, I don't like it." We said, "Well, why?" He said, "It brings back the days where we were sorry. It brings back a losing era." I say that's a losing mentality. I disagree. First of all, it's in the past. It's in the past. It is what it is. It happened. And you got to think, this team did become good within the third year. A lot of other franchises that started that way can't say so. You got your Panthers, it took them some time. You got your Jaguars, it took them some time. So the Texans, they still, bless their heart, they still trying to get their time. But it's the Bucs were not sometimes, and then it's just business, guys. Business happens. This is why it's imperative that everybody in your organization everybody is on the same page. And unfortunately, the Bucs weren't the only bad team. Look at the Cleveland Browns. Look at every team in the NFL has gone through their dark years. Every team. The difference is the Bucs, of course, we're not necessarily Dallas or New York or any NFC East team, but that's fine. They've all had their down years. So spare me with the bullshit of, oh, that was losing. No. And we can change that. I say it like this, in my opinion, if we win both of our games wearing that, how about now maybe instilling the next season 4 games where you wear it? I wanted to put it all right, Slick. I know this is a hot take. The Bucs win a Super Bowl, bring them creamsicles back. Bring them creamsicles back for home games.
I don't know. I disagree with that, but I do think it should have a more of a regular appearance, in the sense of it could be 1 or 2 games. And I think the NFL is missing a trick here. Have a throwback game where both teams wear that throwback. That would look hot. Like, I would honestly, I would love the Lions to wear their throwback, because you can bill it as, like, you know how they did the color rush bullshit that they did on Thursday nights to try and make Thursday nights a little bit more interesting. And it was fine, but catch a mustard game and what have you. And some of those jerseys did look fire. Some of them didn't, because they were like the diarrhea jersey of Jacksonville. What I'm saying is, can you imagine that? For example, we played the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are wearing theirs, which is that like kind of minty, greeny blue thing that they used to wear.
Yep.
And the white helmet, and just like that original Patriots jersey that has so much like vibe about it. It just, that old Dolphins, even the old Dolphins jerseys, I know they look they still look quite similar. They're not too dissimilar now, but everyone, I think throwback Thursdays. It just rings off the tongue. Even if it's an F and a T, we don't play on Friday, so we can't have that. But throwback Thursdays.
Agreed.
Throwback to Thursday.
I agree. Made their conference title game.
I said F and it's another T.
Yes, Ben, you are absolutely right. I forgot the Panthers did. I didn't know about the Jaguars, to be honest. But, the thing is, though.
But not many have done it.
Yeah, not many. And nobody give a damn about them Panthers the second year. The Bucs, Leroy Selman. Doug Williams. Everybody knows the Jimmy job. I don't know if Jimmy played at 79, but I get what you're saying, though, Ben. Thank you for the correction, because I'm glad I'm sure Carolina fans out there probably looking at me crazy. I don't care. Y'all still going to be crazy. Look, hey, y'all been – they've been –
Sorry, Ben, can you do me a favor and help out Scott, because he's struggling to use technology, so sort him out. I can just see it in my background and my message going, I can't comment. And I was like, Ben, sort him out.
Yeah, no, well, let me ask you this. What if the Super Bowl they did a throwback like that? Like, whatever teams got there, they wore their respectable.
I know the Texans aren't going to come, and they don't have a throwback, so.
Hey, well, we know that. But realistically, in the AFC, shit, anybody can go. NFC, it's really going to be the Eagles, maybe the 49ers, and then shit. Hell, it's the funny thing is the NFC, anybody can go just because of the lack of competition. And then in the AFC, anybody can go because of so much competition. Damn, that's funny, man. I love it, but I do think that that would be interesting. I love this colors just because I like the vibrant of it and the pirate. Even though people used to make fun of him, they said, "Oh, look at the little sissy pirate." It's like whatever. He take that blade out and them cannons, then that's a whole nother story. So yes, but we got again, guys. We got so much to talk about because the jersey sales are coming. Like I said, Mike Evans. I got to get one.
You got yours in already, or are you waiting?
Yeah, I'm ordering it. I'm gonna order it soon because I got it. I'm like you. I gotta think because I'm gonna get two. But now that you brought up Rondé,
I'm thinking. So my birthday's in November, so I'll probably tell the wife to get something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She always says you're really hard to buy for. It's like, just give me a creamsicle.
Yeah, just give me a creamsicle. That's all I need. I need a cream. I might have to get a creamsicle before because I might actually try to go. If it ain't sold out, even if it is, I'll watch it in those.
There'll be certain players that won't be sold out. So what they got Devin.
Yeah.
They've got Devontae. They got Wirtz.
Yeah.
Rashad.
Vita.
Brady's not going to sell out, but not that you'd want that.
No, I'll pass on that. I'm talking about actually going to the game.
Yeah.
I want to go to the actual Detroit throwback
game.
If it's not sold out, I will talk to my family. I got people's. I will see if I can get my ass down there. But if I could do that, and that would be nice because that's the old NFC Central rivalry, man. And then man, can you imagine if both teams are like have good records by then? Like let's say we're 2-3-1 and Detroit's 3-1. That's a hell of a game. That's a hell of a game. I think it's in October. I forgot when in October. So
both teams could play 8 games by then.
October, but when in October? Is it the end of October?
I'm checking now.
Oh, what's up? We got JT Olsen in the house. What's going on, JT?
How we doing?
We doing all right. But first before we do anything, tell the world who you are, the Buck world out here. So they know where to find you because this is a good guy right here, y'all.
Yeah, I'm JT. You can find me on Twitter at Icewater Olsen. I write for BucsReport.com, and you can check out my podcast, the Creamsicle Chronicle podcast, for mediocre Bucs coverage.
Do that. Ain't that mediocre? It is not mediocre.
It's not as good as this podcast, but it's all right.
Hey, you can find me in a van down by the river.
And we got the dude, the Bucs dude right here. He comes when you least expect it. My man he's in the shadows.
I'm surprised he didn't do his intro, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Break the fourth wall.
I was waiting for it. He'll do it in a minute, like that. For sure.
Yes, JT, you gotta tell us what is the That's exactly how the Bucs should do. We need to be smacking teams just like that with that sound. But JT, I was gonna say, give me your reaction of the creamsicle sensation.
I love it. It's simple, it's clean, it's classic. It's everything we wanted it to be. They didn't do anything weird with it. Bucs have a history of doing that. And I think it's just a great throwback look, especially with those white helmets. Those white helmets are going to really look good on that uniform.
Yeah, I want an orange one just because. But yeah, the white helmets are like that too. Are they going to be selling the helmets? That's what I need to know.
They already have. I mean, you can always. It depends what you're full size or you're looking for what.
Shit, I just want a regular helmet just so I can have because
I mean, dude, you can just buy a white one by the decals. It's actually cheaper, probably, to be fair.
Hey, can you imagine that creamsicle with some red on the pewter jersey and pants, bro?
Woo! Shit. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Look. See the Bucs. That pewter is, and when you put pewter with the right colors, shit. I mean, JT, like we was asking, which jersey you got to go get, man? Which one you got? Which player you gonna get?
So I'm going to go with my own bias, and I would get a Luke Gedeke jersey just because he's a fellow CMU graduate like me.
Okay.
I always vibe with, Sean Murphy Bunting was my guy for that reason. Antonio Brown is my favorite college player ever. I always got to represent my Chippewas.
I feel you.
I respect that.
I can respect it, man. look, man.
Go Chippewa.
Fire up.
No, but that's good though. Like, so far, since you've been down there, what level of excitement or anxiousness, or do you feel the fan base is getting down there?
I don't actually have a good pulse on the situation because I live so far away from Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell, people talking about it up here, people love the creamsicle. It's so, it's a love it or hate it kind of jersey. And there are a couple of, hate it people out there for sure. But in general, most people just love the classic creamsicle look. It's a vibe for sure.
Hey, I've got a live report from people down in Tampa. What did they think about it? I got a live report. Here it comes.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's a satisfied customer.
Damn straight. Look, not gonna lie. If Bucs get to the playoffs, that's gonna be me making those noises. Yes, yes. And look, don't let us, God help us, let us get 12 wins. Then I'm talking big shit. Put it this way, Bucs.
Don't let AJ reach for the stars.
Oh no, Bucs. Oh, Buck haters, you better, JT. They better not let the Bucs get 12 wins. All the shit that people been talking, and any of the commentators, the sport people who start talking, oh, I knew they had. I'm like, shut the hell up. Like Colin Cowherd, I really want to be like Colin. Shut up.
Yeah.
I definitely would not want to hear him talking. This is how he always starts it. Well, the Bucs are just not good. They're not going to be good, and then let the Bucs all of a sudden get to like 5-2 or something. The Bucs have found something. Now I did tell you.
Yeah, I remember the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl season. He was when we were going through that period where we were losing, like chunky, like where we lost 4 games in a row. I think it was in the Super Bowl season, and he was like, "The Buccaneers are just a collection of country club talent. That's all they are. It's just a country club full of talented players."
Says the guy that got ran out of Tampa Bay media, Colin Cowherd. You feel me? A lot of people don't realize that. Hey, I'll say this: we all gotta fill up certain amounts of time of content, and with ESPN and these networks cutting back on staff, Colin's got to run his mouth for 3.5, 4 hours a day now. Shit. Yep. Nobody's been able to pull that off since Jim Rome, and that's even arguable. I just want to throw, whether it's 4 and there's 17 games, right? 4 and 13, 13 and 4. This is something the fans have asked for, and while they have gotten a lot of heat, rightfully so, over the last couple of decades, the Glazers did what they were supposed to do. Like you said earlier, they didn't get fancy. They didn't do a modern version of the creamsicle and end up with some kind of lame-ass Oregon Duck uniform. They basically brought back the same thing, made a few tweaks to it, probably because of aesthetics, whatever, or let's be honest, just to be slightly different. But the Glazers don't want, really in the back of their minds, they don't want to promote the creamsicle days because most people associate that with losing. And that's why you don't get your James Wilders in the Ring of Honor, because they only want to talk about that shit. That was pre-Glazer. We'll call it PG, kind of like they do with the timelines, right? Yes. And for everything that the Glazers have done wrong, we're still sitting here in our division with more rings, just as many division titles, and depending on how you feel about Derek Carr, we still got one of the more solid rosters through and through, even though we don't even know who the hell the quarterback is. It's Baker Mayfield. But hey, maybe the creamsicle will inspire, the orange will inspire Kyle Trask to go Florida Gator and play the way he did there. But with that said, you guys do realize, oh, damn, Slick, did you fart?
No, I thought about the Gators days. So you just tweaked my interest. If he plays like Gators days,
I just reacted to AJ. So his eyes light up. I just thought, fuck it, I like it too.
If Trask plays like the Gator days, God.
Well, and remember now, Trask didn't get the starting job walking in the door with the Gators. He had to sit there and play whatever, bridesmaid or whatever you want to call it for a minute. And, I'll say this. I'm not a Gator fan, but he was solid when he did play.
Hell yeah.
But Baker Mayfield, whether you like him or love him, hate him or loathe him, he is a former first-round pick. He does put up stats. Granted, some of them are very Jameis Winston-like at times. But what people don't really talk about, and I don't know how much this will translate from Baker to the team, seeing as his team's been in the playoff for 3 years, Baker has a playoff win under his belt.
He does.
Okay? So
division champion.
I'll put it this way. Out of all the quarterbacks that were left on the market that were reasonably in the Buccaneers' price range, they got a veteran with playoff experience and playoff success. Granted, very limited sample size, but let's be honest. In the grand scheme of things, isn't the Buccaneers' playoff experience very limited in sample size? So, but the difference is when we go, bro. We go almost all the way. I'm excited for the Creamsicle thing, especially because it's against the Lions, and that's, the colors we had when we were in that division. I'm not happy about playing the Lions on the other note because I'm getting flashbacks of Barry Sanders just running around like a fool, making grown men look like children. But here's what I'll say: they did it right, and I'm happy because, and Ben and whoever's in the chat down there, they screwed up the alarm clock numbers, dude. That was dumb. Somebody from Nike had one hell of a salesman and pitched these uniforms to the Bucs, and somebody who probably isn't with the team went, yeah, these are awesome. And then when the fans saw them, bro, it was almost a mutiny. No pun intended. That's pretty cool. I tied that in. But it was horrible. And they never got any better. It wasn't like they even tweaked them a little bit. They're like, here's some garbage. Wear the garbage. And since then, we've been begging for Creamsicle. The new uniforms that they have day in and day out, clean, nothing fancy. Don't got your name emblazoned across the front. Cleveland Browns is so stupid. And we know who you are. You know what I mean? But I'm happy. I'm going to rate him. I'm going to give him an 8.9 out of 10. And the only reason is I wish they would have, and people aren't going to like me for this, I wanted them to fuck everybody's head up and bring back the Creamsicle throwbacks, but the white jersey with the orange pants. Ooh. Yeah. That's the good stuff.
Damn, that is actually really good. Thanks, dude. That's actually
we can have two Creamsicle games. We can have two Creamsicle games next year, so we'll do that too.
We'll just make the Creamsicles the alternate for crying out loud. What the hell?
I agree. Ditch that ugly pewter.
I agree, and I'm glad you brought that up, dude, because I wanted to ask everybody, what era of the jerseys did you hate the most? How you doing, Teresa Baxter? What's up? Thank you for checking us out.
That's
and you can
money.
answer this question too. JT, what was the worst era of the uniforms where you said, what the fuck, Bucs?
Oh, it was definitely the Jameis Winston alarm clock numbers. I mean, just super corny. Just one of the worst jerseys of any sport I've ever seen. And I have one, and I love it, but it's ugly.
What about you, Slick?
I'll have to. I think everyone's going to double down and go into this era too. But I think the thing was, and I get what they were trying to do. The problem is, you Americans tend to like being traditionalists, which is why the Creamsicle fucks so fucking hard. Yeah, because you love tradition. This is why the Dallas Cowboys blue jersey, the one that they always wear, come rain or shine, is loved to pieces. Why the Green Bay Packers jersey is barely fucking changed. It's why insert team's name here is they haven't changed their jersey because it fucks so fucking hard. And that the Browns should really move away from using the color brown. We are in 2023, not in fucking 1930 something. So let's move on there. So I would have to go. I see it was an experiment. It was an experiment that should have been canned in 4 years. I think it went 8. I'm not entirely sure. No, I think it went about 5 or 6 years, I think.
Yes, it did. It started during the Lovie Smith era, because I want to bring that up. That's when we were lost, y'all. We were a lost children of Israel back then.
Helmet was fire, though. The helmet of that era with the chrome grille and the really big ass fucking logo.
Hey, he said we were the lost children of Israel. Doesn't that make Jason Light Moses?
Hey, it could be. Look, he brought us out of the wilderness. Well, I don't know. We were lost, y'all.
The Red Sea.
Oh, and by the way, I'm a break up the streak here. My worst jersey is those stupid ass red ketchup dispenser color rush jerseys. The red didn't even match any of the red in the stadium. The red matched Heinz ketchup, and we're not the Steelers. We're not in Pittsburgh, and Patrick Mahomes eats ketchup on everything. We're grown ass men. You guys out there in red pajamas looking like a bunch of fools, man. Get out of here.
No, that was it's just, but it's all in that era. We were just lost. Ass whooping after ass whooping after ass whooping, and then we had no promise. Those numbers, like y'all said, those look like recreational basketball numbers. Literally, the clock that halfway works, and then they always got to go back and put 30 extra seconds on because it ran too long. That was the Bucs back.
Hey, you remember the make your own uniform thing in Madden with the generic uniforms? That's what it looks like. Like I said to you earlier. It's like, hey, this is the one uniform that the XFL said, no, we don't want to play with that. That's too weird. And the Bucs were like, we'll take it. and then you went. It's not weird that the uniform that made you look like clowns and you were operating like a clown show, revolving coaches in and out like a bunch of douchebags. So it's not weird.
Damn.
Let's be honest though. The creamsicle thing's great. Defense is looking solid. Hopefully, don't they need to bring in some more defensive depth on the line? Shouldn't they be? And you know where I'm going with this, JT, because he got that article out there. Are the Bucs set, or do they need to add somebody?
Ooh, let me start with that. If you want to add someone, I wouldn't mind adding. I'm just gonna say it. I don't mind adding an extra edge rusher. You cannot have more than enough edge rushers because besides Shaq Barrett, we don't have a consistent edge rusher. And we're going to be a rotational group for the next couple of weeks on this defense. So what's wrong with bringing in that extra person that could, especially in rotation, you always want to have that extra guy that makes offensive linemen say, shit, we don't know this person. And then nothing, I think, frustrates now. JT, maybe ask this, because for linemen, it's frustrating when they have to go against different variety of guys, right? Because now you have to adjust. Shit, this guy's a bull rusher, but then this one guy, I know he's faster than me, and I can probably get him. But if I'm already tired of getting through this guy, shit. Yes, the Bucs do need. I think you cannot go wrong with getting another edge rusher. That's just me. We need another edge rusher.
I think my issue with an edge rusher is there's one name out there who I think would make an impact on any team he signs with, and that's Yannick Ngakoue. Just a really good pass rusher off the edge. Problem is he's going to be expensive, and the Bucs only have like $2 million in cap. They're waiting on a Mike Evans extension. Mm-hmm. So after that, it's kind of just a bunch of guys, and the Bucs already have a bunch of guys, with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Yaya Diaby, Jose Ramirez, who I think pretty highly of as a late round pick. So they have a lot of unproven guys who have talent, and I think they want to give them some run as opposed to bring in a low tier veteran to take up one of those spots. Like, I'd love to get Ngakoue on here. He's a really good pass rusher, and he'd make a big impact.
He's so underrated.
Yeah. Who do you think I'm sure he'll get picked up soon, but where do you? I hope he's in the AFC and not the NFC. But I agree. I do think that I do want to give the young guys a chance, because when we gave the young guys a chance, we won the Super Bowl. We gave Antoine Winfield a chance. We gave Tristan Wirfs a chance. And if anything, those times were much more dire, in my opinion. Wirfs had no choice but to be great, because he had the GOAT with him. He didn't want to be responsible for the GOAT getting his head knocked off. Winfield had no choice to be great, because there was no real other safeties behind him. I like when you put these guys there, because it can make or break, but I want to see what we have. Like you said, JT, you're right. Right now on paper, it's just for the most part, it's a lot of guys. Let's see if one of those guys can be that guy. I think we can. In my opinion, the first 6-7 games, that cushion shit needs to look. Get the secondary to make these receivers work for us, so your edge rushers can be good, because you want to get their confidence up as well. What you don't want them to do is be let out to dry while they try to produce something and it's not working.
And then, kind of your point, all these different edge rushers the Bucs brought in, they're all a little bit different flavor. I mean, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, he's a little bit raw, but he's a really good athlete. Anthony Nelson is length and strength and power. Yaya Diaby is explosive and powerful, and he can just punch you in the mouth like a high-powered battering ram. And then Jose Ramirez is super bendy, super finesse, super polished pass rusher for where you got him. So there are a lot of different flavors. And, as an offensive lineman, you do get into a rhythm. You go against a fast guy, you're kicking out. You feel comfortable. He's going that way because he's not going to beat you the other way. And then they bring in a fresh body who's got more energy than you, and you go to kick out again, and they punch you in the mouth and knock you on your butt. So, yeah, there's definitely something to be said about that rotation and having different profiles of edge rusher, and the Bucs have that. I kind of want to see what they do.
Now, just to weigh in then, could be the segue of this, safety. I only have two, in my opinion, and that's where I would like to go. And I think you can get safeties at you can buy a decent or good rotational safety that can come in for that $2 million that you have. I do think that's possible. We've got to remember, a lot of these guys aren't being signed, so that there is an opportunity. They're basically these guys that are waiting. Let's face it, a quote unquote injury to happen in camp, and that's where they'll make a bigger splash. Otherwise, they'll get it all the way to just, I say, mid preseason, potentially the season start. Someone will pay them, but it won't be as much. As soon as a big name gets injured, like a big name pass rusher gets injured, let's say for the sake of, no, I don't want to say it because it's our squad, so I won't do that. I'll shut the fuck up. But let's say like your starter on your team ends up getting injured, that's when a Yannick Ngakoue is going to have money thrown at him. Right now, they wouldn't, and he is probably told by his agents, just wait, just let Cam go, just let that practice where they have the team come to town for the entire week. After that's happened, someone's gonna probably go down in the league. You'll have your opportunity then, because that's what I would say, realistically, because if there's just so many teams, there's so much that goes on, and it's a very competitive spirit at that point in time. It's easy for someone to get injured in those joint practices or in the preseason game leading up. So you could easily just wait, because you might make an extra $2 million or an extra couple of mil on top if you just wait. Because there's no rush from getting to camp.
I see you, Coach Slick. He's like, yeah, look, guys, he's not only a coach, he knows business. He said, look, guys, just be patient. Somebody gonna fuck up. This is the NFL. But you're absolutely right.
Every year.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Leonard Fournette, that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for someone to die in camp. That's pretty much what he's doing, because everyone's, he's not being signed yet. He might have offers that are on the table, and he's just like, yeah, no. I don't want to be a backup. 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 And then they get to a point where he has no choice but to be a backup, and then he'll sign the backup contract. Right?
Agreed.
But he could just wait till about week 3, the second week of preseason, and then you go, I'm ready to go. As soon as someone goes down, as soon as someone doesn't sign, Saquon Barkley decides that he is going to forgo the season and he is going to sit out the entire season. Boom, he's got a job.
I'm just going to say, Leonard Fournette wasn't smart enough to realize you can't beat a motorcycle racing in traffic, dumbass.
Hey, no one said he was bright. He might just have a bright agent.
Exactly. Hey, his abilities is what we wanted, not this. Hey, Leonard, I wish you well, but
he can fill the gap.
Right, but Slick is right. That's why you have agents doing that. They're like, look, Leonard, let us do the talking. We'll get you somewhere. We're gonna get you paid. He'll be picked up because he is still, and on paper, he's coming. His resume speaks for itself. All he has to do is go back and people will look at, hey, we know. Because at the end of the day, organizations know when it was really your coaching that fucked over a player. A lot of coaches will say, hey, It wasn't him. That was Bubblegum Byron that messed everybody up. Now, yes, you're right. Fournette has got to learn how to hit the fucking gap the right way. It's like, oh my God, you're a big dude, so why do you tiptoe? If you're gonna go through it, go through it. But then when he does, he runs right into the damn line. You go, oh my God, man.
Hey, and he doesn't even tiptoe, because tiptoe, by its definition, means on the tips of your toes, and he's doing this flat-footed like he's Fred Flintstone over here. So,
yes.
Hey, gun to your head, you got to have a running back sign right now. Ezekiel Elliott or Leonard Fournette. All things equal money-wise.
I would just go with Leonard just to experience. I can't do Ezekiel. I can't take Ezekiel seriously. As a running back, his problem is just like Leonard. Leonard's problem is he just doesn't sometimes utilize his vision. Zeke's problem is he relies on the line too much. When the line goes to shit, he goes to shit.
I go with that because in Jacksonville and in Tampa, he hasn't had the greatest of he's had some good lines, but not Dallas level.
No.
Well, and if you're gonna do like the Le'Veon Bell, where you go at the line and wait for the hole to come, you have to have burst. You have to have twitch. And Fournette, you're not. I mean, you can do that. We've seen you move. We've seen you go left and right. But let's be honest. You're a big boy. You're a power back. You're supposed to be stiff arming and shouldering your way through the hole.
Exactly.
And you're back here trying to dance around like you wore it done. Hey, you're not.
You're not.
But
sometimes
you can contribute. And I really think this offensive coordinator could actually use a Leonard Fournette. And I think he would use Fournette and Rachaad White bouncing off each other the right way.
Yeah.
So if they don't sign somebody and they roll with who they got, are you guys satisfied? Or, as JT put out in an article today, 5 potential free agents for the Buccaneers to sign, would you take a flyer on a bargain basement Melvin Gordon signing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Melvin Gordon is that guy. I fuck with Melvin. Melvin, he got abused in Denver. Melvin was that guy for a little bit. Now, I don't know what the situation happened there, but Melvin is a nice, good north and south runner, and he can block. And he's good at receiving as well. Melvin Gordon, but if anything, he would have to be, he had to take a pay cut. But I like the Melvin Gordon. Because Melvin can hit holes too. I wouldn't mind Melvin Gordon because if he's the reserve guy where when Rachaad White needs a break, I would be comfortable with Melvin. I like that. I really do I would like that. And like you said, with Canals, you want to get to running the ball. You got two guys like that. A defense is gonna have to give you respect. Now, thank you for doing that question, because I want to ask you guys this question. JT, we start with you. What side do you think of the offensive line for the Bucs is going to have developmental growth and pains, and the other side that's going to be, okay, this is obviously the dominant side?
Well, the left side's obviously going to be the dominant side. That's the side of Tristan Wirfs. Anthony Filer's been a playoff-level offensive lineman at both Pittsburgh and LA. So, they've both been there, done that, gone to the playoffs. The other side is a rookie and a guy who played guard last year as a rookie. So it's nothing but growing pains for both Luke Gedeke and for Cody Mock. I think highly of both of them. I think they'll both be pretty good. I think I'm more confident in Mock because I think Gedeke's really more of a guard. But I think they'll both be all right in this new system. I think it suits both of them well.
Thank you, Jay. What about you, Slick?
I'm going to have to go with the offensive line because it was the kind of thing that made Tom Brady shit himself. It was the bane of the run game to a lot of degree. So I'd hate to double down and go in the same place because obviously we want to have vibrance in our discussion. But I think offensive line is the one that's got to learn the most because they always say you've got to have an offensive line that's been together. This offensive line right now hasn't really been together. So it's a whole fresh thing. Remember, they had a year out with Ryan Jensen, so he's not gelled with this current offensive line. You got Luke Gedeke, who's coming in for his second year. We still don't know who the guard combo is going to be 100% yet. We have an idea, but we don't know. And then, of course, we've got the tackle The only thing that we know is we got a left tackle and we got a center. That's pretty much it. The rest is really much up for debate. You can argue. I mean, there's a couple of people who might disagree. I think I could see JT kind of looking at me with a bit of a smirk on his face.
I can piggyback off the slick here. Go ahead, JT.
I mostly agree. I don't think Filer is fantastic, but he's solid. He's experienced. He's not a turnstile by any means. Teams have been successful with him, but you're right. He's coming into a new situation. Everyone on this line is coming into a new situation, playing a position they didn't play last year, or in a place they didn't play last year, with the exception of Jensen, who didn't play last year.
I got 3 simple acronyms. SAP. Simple as plays. That is gonna save your line. If I'm a coach, I got you. Baker, this is what we're gonna do. Your main objective is, first off, your number one priority is getting Evans the fucking ball. You know why? Because Evans is the domino effect. You feed Evans and you get him going, and he gets in the rhythm. Then defenses have to double him. Godwin goes off. Then you got Otten, who we all love. Otten. We love some Otten here. He's on up and coming. So keep the play simple in the first few weeks. That means, okay, guys. And then for Baker, hey, Baker, don't rely on the line too much. Improvise that shit. That's why I like Baker. I think Baker, and I know what you said, dude said he has Jameis Winston-esque kind of vibes, but sometimes that's not a bad thing, because what the difference is, I think Baker can adjust to his errors better than Winston could. I think if you have to constantly tell Winston, man, don't do this. With Baker, I think he will settle in. And again, he's never had a Evans or a Godwin to throw to. So I think he's going to help that line with the simple ass plays. And I don't mean just super easy, but just get it going. So, and take what the defense gives. And I think Baker can do that. If they play that cushion, that 8-yard step that Slick and I was talking about, slants or pump fakes, or just do shit like that. So keep it simple. And then when we do running plays, do something real good. So I honestly think simple as SAP. SAP is going to get this line to get confident, because when your quarterback is out there extending plays, this lineman get it. They love that shit. Because even if they mess up, Baker will be the guy like, I got you, man. Don't worry about that. Let's get this next play. Brady was like, hey, what the fuck? Come on, guys. And I know his line was like, well, shit, you throw the ball away every 2 seconds, old man. And then when we give you 4 seconds, you throw it away.
Hey, we got breaking news here out of the AccuView Weather Forecast Center in Michigan. We've got tornado warnings in JT Olson's area. He's going to have to tap out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him his flowers. Let's let him go out in style. JT, what do you got? Oh, my God. Oh, sorry.
Just check out our written work over at Bucs Report. Great site, great content creators there. We are going to be returning to the Creamsicle Chronicle here in a couple of weeks. We're obviously in the dead period right now. We're taking a little hiatus, but we're going to be back soon. Training camp's right around the corner. And until then, thanks for having me on. Appreciate y'all.
JT, you've always been the man.
Brother. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, I'll catch y'all later.
Yes, sir. Catch later. But yes, again, simple ass plays.
That was JT's exit music. You like that?
I did. That's actually awesome. That was awesome. I wish that could have been Byron's firing music.
Well, no, that's Byron's theme song. Like, he walks around and it plays in the background.
Yes, that's literally.
We got a couple good ones. If you ever get someone on here that's acting a fool,
you are a bitch. You are a bitch. You are a bitch. You are.
Man, I would like this. That's a shout out to Marshawn Lattimore.
A bitch. You are a bitch. You.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore, pretty much. I bet Mike Evans says that shit all the time. I really wish we could play the Saints in the fucking Creamsicle. That shit would. Woo!
Hey, you know why Marshawn Lattimore thinks he's so good, right? He covers slant boy in practice, for crying out loud. I mean, all you got to do is take 2 steps back and you got him.
Exactly. And then and it helps when the refs sometimes allow that for narrative reasons, for narrative purposes. Because it's like if you're an asshole, that's when all of a sudden you're elite. Like Jalen Ramsey, asshole. But then when they let these guys play, Mike Evans burns both of them. We've already established Mike Evans in 2021. He broke Ramsey. That playoff, when he caught that fucking thing over him, Ramsey was never the same. And in my opinion, Slick, this is the first time in a long time where I don't see that many elite corners. But I think that's also because the game is not allowing these corners to really do what they used to do either. When people say Ramsey is one of the best, yes, he is. But right now,
not all time, bro. He's not on that list all the time. There ain't no way. And that was that thing. I saw that list you was talking about. They had older players listed. Now, let me remind you people. How about Darryl Green from Washington? Literally the fastest man ever. And played what? Sean will tell us, like 20 fucking years.
Yes. And he tackled.
Now, was that list only corners or was it defensive backs in general?
No, it was corners, but it was...
Rondé's not on that list.
Rondé wasn't on there, and they had Richard Sherman. I like Richard, but you can't put him
3
in
years.
that era. Yeah, you can't put... And then also, most people, the reason why they feared the Legion of Boom, it wasn't because of Sherman, it was because of fucking Chancellor and Earl Thomas. You got... I wouldn't mind getting past Sherman. I just didn't want to get hit by Earl or Chancellor.
Yeah, that saw that list, and here's what it is, and this is you two are going to start experiencing it more the next 10 years. This is what happens when the next generation starts taking over and running certain things, whether it be TV, radio, papers, whatever. The person who made that list hasn't watched any football from 2000 back. Right. It's obvious. So they went to Google, who's the best defensive back from 1970 to 2000? All right, we'll throw his name in there, and everybody else is going to be people that I like on my fantasy team or some stupid shit like that. So,
yep.
If you didn't watch Darryl Green play, you don't know what you're talking about. There was a gentleman named Mel Blount with the Raiders back in the day. He played a little bit of all the positions back there, so it's hard to call him just a corner, but he would line up on the number one. I could look into the research and pull out 10 players that weren't on that list that should be. And
I agree.
And nothing wrong. And hey, again, I'm sitting here in Tallahassee, right in the shadow of Doak Campbell Stadium, home of the Seminoles. Jalen Ramsey, you know what you're famous for? Being famous. Being on TikTok, being on social media, talking smack, being controversial. Are you a great athlete? Absolutely. Are you a solid NFL defensive back? Top 25 in the league? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But top 10 all time?
Fuck,
dude.
no.
Top 10 all time?
No, absolutely not. There's nobody who's there top 10 right now. That's why I say, and this is the first time that we cannot pinpoint like the best of the best, because everybody has a weakness. Jalen Ramsey has been exposed so many times. I think after Richard Sherman might be the last like elite one, because before then we had Revis, you had Patrick, you had Surtain. We don't have that consistency anymore.
So the only thing I would give Ramsey is he's been on 2 different teams and has been elite. So I give him that. But, and here's where I get kind of full in on this. Let people have a career before you crown them, for fuck's sake.
Dude, didn't they have Sauce Gardner on that list?
Don't get crowned the fuck, like, don't get me wrong. Brady got crowned the GOAT during his career because he just eclipsed everybody in rings. That's why you did it. He eclipsed everybody in everything. Playoff wins, comeback wins, whatever win it was available that you could come back from and do something with, he did it. That's why he was crowned while he was well, not say alive. Of course, there's still people alive. Have a career first and then look at it. Could Jalen Ramsey be one of the best? He could, but let's not crown him just yet. Let him have his career. He's going to have the mentality he's the best, and he should, because that's what gets him going. That's his wake-up call. Be the best. Be the best. You got to be the best. You got to work hard to be the best. That kind of thing. I get it. Absolutely get it. But media's got this thing because they need to fucking fill time where they'll go, so, is this person the best? Let's wait for their career to end, and that's the real discussion then. Like, you can look at it, say, like, when certain people hit precipices of their careers where, okay, Jalen Ramsey, when he wins his first Super Bowl, that's a concept. Where does he fit in with the greats? That's the conversation to have. Not, is he is the best? Is he in that conversation yet? No, he needs a few more years. Okay, fair enough. And then when he does another significant thing, maybe he snags his such and such interception, you have that conversation again and see, does he fit in? Instead of just going, well, yeah, he's got to be because he's really, really good. And he is. And he's paid really well for it. But let people have a fucking career.
Amen.
What's Sauce Gardner on that list?
Yeah, is who?
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's.
No, I mean, was he on the list we're talking about?
No, he was not on that list. And
good, because he's so wet behind the ears, bro. Like Sean Spencer saying, Mike Haynes, Lester Hayes, Dick Night Train Lane. Look him up. You didn't throw to that whole side of the field.
And
Just
I like
fact.
that you brung that up. I'm glad you brought that up, dude. People don't realize the Steelers, I think, were one of the reasons why corners couldn't touch you after 5 yards, because receivers didn't have a chance because they were fucking you up on the line of scrimmage. And, you know, that is what, to me, I Slick nailed it, though. It's just let these people have fucking careers. Let the record speak for itself. But because the league, just like the NBA, it's a lot of fucking narrative prima donnas. When you act like, when you're extra, that's when you get the attention. Because let's bring it, fellas, let's bring it back to Mike Evans and Odell. You had people literally, I remember this thing. People laughed in my face when they were like, you think Evans is better? I'm like, all right, now that we've looked at the records, now people Slick are sitting back like, all right, I think AJ was right. Because I looked at the record. Odell didn't have fucking 10,000 receiving yards yet. He only has 56 touchdowns. Mike Evans has over 10,000, and he has 81 touchdowns. And what? Every season, 1,000 yards. And they say Odell got injured. That's not our fucking problem. There's a lot of great players that got injured. Tom Brady was out the 2008 season. So what?
Here, I got one for you. And it doesn't matter which way you go on this. Is Sterling Sharp a Hall of Famer?
Sterling Sharp a Hall of Famer? If you look at the numbers of what he was doing, a career he would have. Now,
that's what I mean by saying that. And he was one of the most dominant wide receivers for his time.
Yep.
But he only played a certain amount of time, and I think he gets in. But he's like, when they get those, I hate seeing it personally, but when they get the widow out and fucking that kind of shit, that's when he'll get his.
Yes, agree.
He'll get his like years and years down the line, because there's always going to be somebody else who's upstarted it.
Bro, was Champ Bailey on that list?
Yeah, Champ Bailey was there. Oh yeah, no, I saw.
How about Enos Williams?
Enos Williams was there. Yes, Rod Woodson was there too.
That makes me a little happier.
No, you had to put. If you didn't put Rod Woodson on there, I would have scrapped the whole damn thing.
How about Ronnie Lott?
No, it was supposed to be for DBs. Now I know
he played DB. He played DB a good hunk of his career. That's my point. And the other part that we have to consider is, again, it's young people making these lists or people who are just lazy.
Yep.
But Darryl Green was locking up number one wide receivers at age 35.
Yes, he was. I remember him.
I mean, you didn't even throw to that side of the field. When Champ Bailey lined up on you, you were done for that play. You were done. And if they threw it to you, he either manhandled you to where you couldn't get to the ball, he boxed you out, or he just took the damn ball.
Yes, he did.
And dude, like Sean Spencer saying, there was 3 guys on the Raiders: Mel Blount, Mike Haynes, Lester Hayes. These guys hit like Ronnie Lott, covered like Champ Bailey, and you're putting who on this list?
Yeah, Richard Sherman. Well, and put it this way: if it wasn't for prime time, Darryl Green would be the greatest corner of all time. Now that speaks volumes.
Yes.
If it wasn't for prime time, we be saying Darryl Green is the greatest corner to ever play. But prime time just existed. Shit. And here's what makes it even better. Prime time was so good at his just being a lockdown corner. He didn't even have to tackle. because that's the big thing about him. He couldn't tackle you.
Was Patrick Peterson on that list?
Yeah, I think Patrick Peterson was there. Yes, he was.
I was about to lose my shit.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson was on there. I'll send you the list, Slick.
I'll still sign him to this day. Come on down to Tampa.
Yeah, Slick. I'll send you the list because when they put Sherman and Ramsey up there of all time, I tweeted. I said, get this shit off of. I said, get Ramsey off first of all. Hell no. Just because you're a loudmouth dickhead doesn't mean, and as you said, he's been good on 2 teams, but he also has been on 2 teams with good defenses too. See, that's another thing people don't like to see it. When you have your Aaron Donald, and there's a reason why, and I hate this because people try to dick ride Aaron Donald so much. Do you realize Aaron Donald, for the most part, when he's played against the Bucs, he doesn't have dominant games.
Yeah, he's usually pretty quiet. There's everyone else. But I think the thing is, you've got to say, if they obviously game plan very well for him, and therefore other people are going to.
Well, the thing is, Von Miller is the reason why the Rams won that Super Bowl. I don't give a damn what nobody says. Go watch the game when they played the Bucs. Von Miller. It was Von. Von Miller was that guy because he was that extra piece that they were missing. Because Aaron,
for sure.
Yeah, Aaron, we all know Aaron's not a good run stopper. So if you had a good run game against the Rams and you could keep them at bay, that was the way. They didn't have an edge rusher. When Von came in there, Von, Byron, and Bowles are the reason why the Bucs didn't get that second ring. But if Von Miller's not on that team, we'd be sitting here talking about, man, the Bucs won 2 Super Bowls with Brady. Hell, maybe more than that. You never know. I mean, if the Bucs,
I think Brady goes through his drama. He goes through his drama, and I think
I don't know. I don't think Arians would quit though. Arians wins that Super Bowl, he stays. Now that is a hell of a story for the 2021 Bucs. What happens if they win the Super Bowl? Arians doesn't go nowhere. Why would you? If you're a coach Arians, they would find a way to live with each other. Man, I know that's a big ass if. That's an alternate universe, but I always think about that. Like I've always said, the Bucs win. If the Bucs win that Super Bowl that year, the Bucs could have been a possible dynasty just because Arians doesn't leave. Arians doesn't step down. Bowles just focus on the defense. Arians and then work on that offense.
I mean, it's possible. I try not to think about stuff that has.
I know you don't want to drive yourself crazy. I know. I just think about that because we were so fucking close. We were close. It's like we were so close. Fuck Von Miller. Fuck Von. I can't stand when Von went to Buffalo. I was like, man, fuck you, man. You old mercenary. You just trying to get a ring everywhere. Fuck that. Von Miller, I used to fuck with Von Miller in Denver. Then when he went to LA, I said, fuck him because that hurt us. But I mean, it's 2021. I got to forgive and forget. No, I can forgive, but I can't forget because that was our time to be.
That was a hard one.
That was a hard one, yes. When women say men don't have heartbreaks, that was a heartbreak. I felt like the girl broke up with me that day. They were like, you all right? No, I'm really not.
I mean, to be fair, if we hadn't had the downfall in the game, like as in that we were like, I mean, we caught up, but if that didn't happen and it was neck and neck all the way through, then I think I would have punched me harder. Is the fact that we got back into contention. I was a bit like, okay, well, I can. When we lost, I was like, well, yeah, it's shit, but there was an argument that we may never even been in the fucking
fight. Right. We get our asses blown.
That's how I get my head around it. Yeah. But if we would have been trading counterpunch for counterpunch for counterpunch for counterpunch, and it's a tight game all the way through, I think that would have broke me. Because that would have been worse.
I know what you're saying.
Far fucking worse. The fact that we were down massive points and our defense clawed their way back in, even though technically people could argue the defense was the one that gave up the points in anyway. But then the offense could, on top of that, the offense wasn't moving the football or what have you. And there's some refereeing decisions that didn't go some ways and what have you. You put it all together, you add it all up, and we're having this shit fucking game. And I'm like, yes. Tom Brady just needs to come out third quarter and just fucking let loose and play like there is no tomorrow, because there is no tomorrow after this. And he did. It worked out, and then it didn't.
I know it happens, man. So I get what you're saying. We gotta let it go.
And the fact that we lost in a stupid way, like it had, like, let's say they did double cover and they did do what they're supposed to do. and he still catches the ball, it's easy to accept. Fuck, he just made a fucking great play.
Oh,
he didn't
absolutely.
make a great play. We allowed him to make the great play. That's probably what sucks the most.
I agree. If Cup catches
Because he
it in
beats
double
them,
coverage,
it's like, wow, he's a fucking ledge. Fair play to him. He's a fucking stud. He deserves his tip to the cap, and they deserve to fucking win. But when you go zero blitz, and I don't care what anyone fucking says, you go zero blitz, and this guy goes fucking free. You're asking for trouble.
Yes, you were asking for that. When I saw that, I think people literally was like, AJ, I said, oh my God. And they was like, what? I was like, this is awful. I saw this shit. I'm like, wait a minute. Is he about to do an all-zero blitz? And because of that added to the hype of Cooper Kupp. I like Cooper Kupp, but I'm not, again, give these men careers. Because the Cooper Kupp injury, and I never wish injuries on players, but that didn't humble him. It humbled the media. Now they're sitting back like, oh shit, maybe he's not, because there were talks of him being the best fucking receiver in the league, and I'm like, no, being the hottest and the best are
he
two
was the
different
best
things.
receiver for that time. People need to stop doing this. Right, this is how you become great, and this is just my opinion. You have periods throughout your career where you are elite, great, and just good, right?
Yeah.
The more time you hit the elite and the great part is what sets you apart from everyone else. If you can stay elite for a long period of time, doesn't matter about injuries. No one gives a fuck that you got a bruised knee or a fucking broken ankle.
Right.
That's football. It happens. It's happened to Brady. Brady's got years that he's lost. Otherwise, he would have even more fucking playoff fucking wins, right? They all have them where they've lost, like they've not done well. The difference is you've got it. The longer you stay consistent, and this is why Mike Evans is elite. He may not have hit the elite button every single time, but he's stayed in that good. He has never dropped down to average or okay. He's always been good or in the elite conversation. He's been in that conversation for the start of his career to where he is now. Now, there are people like Odell Beckham who went elite, and now they're average. But show flashes of elite because he is a very talented wide receiver. Then they go, wow, if he does this, if he strings it all together, if. Stop using ifs as reasons to crown someone. It doesn't matter if, it's what you have done. They always say the NFL says, what have you done for me lately? And he has not done anything lately. The last time he was fucking great was in the Super Bowl. He was good in that Super Bowl. He was very good in that Super Bowl. Took the pressure off Cooper Kupp and allowed them to play a bit better. Look, that's fine. But that's one fucking game. It's one game. You put the sum of what he did in Cleveland and put the sum of what he did in the Rams, he's not even a fucking 1,000-yard receiver. So shut the fuck up and let's move the fuck on.
Woo! I think you said that to some of you sports analysts out there. I think he was talking to some of y'all because I've been saying it too. You just have to
you don't even have to pay me a lot of money, ESPN. I'll just come on and chat for fuck all. Just get me a house that's nearby. You know, it doesn't have to be an expensive one. Get me the medical cover because I know I need that shit when I come over there because we don't have the free stuff like you have over here. And just look after me. Let me be all right. I don't need fucking millions of dollars. Just give me a nice hefty salary of $100,000 a year. That's absolutely easy for me to live off.
Right, better yet, hell, ESPN. I'll talk to you right now. Give me $75K and just promote my merchandise. Promote my merchandise because I got my shit. It's nice. Promote this good stuff right here. And every commercial, and like you said, I can shoot the shit. I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm gonna give you real shit, not some shit. Because as you said, don't give us things where the Colin Cowards of the world. Now you're just talking out your ass. But then when it doesn't go the way that you thought it was gonna go, now all of a sudden you have a backup plan. Yeah, you're backpedaling. You're like, well, I did say this before. You remember what it's like,
what happens is they fucking there's a trick to this, AJ. You say it really fucking early, and because so much shit happens, everyone forgets. It's like fake news, right? You say shit like it's breaking, and then all of a sudden so much shit has happened, everyone's forgot what you fucking said.
Yep.
I just remember the Country Club of Talent because it really pissed me off at the time, and I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, when we win the Super Bowl, And we're going to go, oh, I think they could really go all the way. It's going to be very difficult for him because not many teams have done it. But with Brady, because he's a Brady cocksucker. He's a Brady cocksucker. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
But he is. So it's like, oh, Brady's good, and they're doing really well. Okay, yeah. It could happen because they got Brady.
Yeah, and I love how the narrative. You're right, because even when we won the Super Bowl, a lot of people are trying to put it on the Brady. It's like, nah, we know Brady did his thing, but you better put some respect on Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Vita Vea, yeah, that fucking defense played at such an elite level where it was so overwhelming for Mahomes. Mahomes didn't have shit to do. Like, it's bad when the media loves to talk about Mahomes Super Bowl. Like when they use the word dynasty, I said dynasty. Are you serious? I'm like, so we're not gonna go back and just realize just 2 years ago he got the dog shit beat out of him. He was beaten so bad.
It could be a dynasty. And again, this is what we talk about, crowning people too fucking early. They have the makings of a dynasty. Mahomes has already shown that he doesn't need to have elite wide receivers to be great. All he needs is one elite slot receiver / tight end thing.
Yep.
And Travis Kelce is an amazing player. Like, I won't take that away from him. But in my opinion, he's not a quote unquote proper tight end.
No.
But
agree.
In the constraints of what the game is right now, he is, and that's fine. I can live with that. But it's like, and to be fair, the more I watch Travis, when I watch him on game day, he irritates the shit out of me. That guy's an inside-out Oreo all day long. Yes. But when I've watched him on podcasts, the respect that he has for the people who came before him, and I watched quite recently, he said the best tight end quarterback combos. And I'm going to take myself out there because every time I put my name in there, I get shit. So I'm going to take my fucking name out of it. And he's like, the best three are Brady and Gronk, because you just can't mess with that shit. You don't get that many rings. You don't have that much success without being the best. They're the best. Second was, if you're going to go on pure stats, it's Rivers and Gates. And then finally, it's Elway and Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp apparently speaks to him a lot about upping his game and what he can do better and what have you. And apparently he said the one thing he loves about him is the fact that because of how big Travis Kelce is, he isn't sat there going, yeah, fuck off, dude. I know what I'm doing. I'm fucking already got the better stats than you. He's like, no, tell me more. Tell me how I can get better.
Well,
that's kind of cool. And it makes me respect him a little bit more, because I always find him he seems a cocky dude. And it's like the whole, and I guess that's his vibe. It's just the way he is. And I guess if he was on my team, I wouldn't give a shit.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? I'm sure everyone feels the same way about some players that we had on our team.
Oh, absolutely. I think with Kelce, his problem is sometimes he gets media. He gets media dependent. I think for the most part, when he's not focusing on the media, he beats him, and he just goes out there and plays the game. He's fine. It's just when he tries to live to the expectations of the media, that's when, like you said, he becomes a prima donna jackass. The same thing is for Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons right now has got to learn, just because Dallas says you're great and you're on this level and the rest of the fucking world is, you have to know this without them saying it. That's why when he falls short, he falls short. That's why when Fournette put him on his ass, he didn't recover, because his ego dropped, because now his manhood was tested. And that happens. You know this. I've coached the game. I've told kids before, you get knocked on your ass, get right back up. Can you get up? Yeah. You know how you can redeem yourself? Yes. Make plays. I didn't say try to beat that guy. Make the plays. So that's what Kelce and Micah have to learn. Once Micah can get that down, he's a dangerous animal. He's a dangerous dude. Kelce, enough said. He's great for what he is. And of course he likes Shannon Sharp, because he's molded what the Shannon Sharps of the world. That's why to me, Shannon will always be the GOAT, because he elevated to what being a tight end, changed the tight end from just blocking to being a receiver. I know people will talk about Kellen Winslow, but Shannon did to the point where Shannon could have played a receiver if he really wanted.
And it's not just the case of that. You look at where he came from. You know, he's Savannah State.
Yep.
You know,
7th round, I think, 7th round pick.
Yeah, something like that. It's either that or undrafted. I can't remember. I think he's either low or undrafted. goes into there not expecting to do anything in Denver, and then has the career that he ends up having and gets trusted the way he does by Elway. Legendary career at the end of it, and then now he's like a social media fucking guru, so he's gonna be absolutely fucking fine.
And Skip is got to go on hiatus.
He seems like the funnest dude in the world. Like, have you ever seen the video of him and the dog in an airport where the person's like filming him, and he's just literally goes up to the dude, he's like, why? And he's like, why not? And he just shakes his head, and I'm like, honestly, was on his side. I was like, I didn't even get it myself. Why would you film someone just walking through the airport? That's fucking weird. Like, if you want an autograph or you just want a picture, then that's fine. But fucking just filming someone is weird as shit.
Because Americans, unfortunately, are fucking weirdos, Slick. I look, and you know how I love Mike Evans and these guys, but if I saw Mike Evans, I'd acknowledge him. What's up, man? How you doing? Hey, kick ass out there, do your thing. But you're right. I'm not gonna be like this. Oh my God, it's Mike Evans walking. Mike Evans just tied his shoes. Well, these are still fucking people. And I'm not about to record a grown-ass man unless I'm about to get paid for something. I'm not doing that. So I agree.
He does, Sean. I remember he did tell me he does a very, very telling Shannon Sharp impression, if I do remember correctly.
Yes, and he's good. And the fact that Shannon is authentic. Yeah, again, these guys still have lives, and of course, we want them to, I don't mind saying, hey, but I'm not going to be like, oh, how you doing? I think
you got to look at the situation, don't you? If someone's like in an airport and they're rushing to get to a terminal, they probably don't have time for you. So you just give them like the nod or, hey, man, you're fucking awesome. And then that's it. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do.
If they're at a restaurant with their family, maybe you go to them after they finish their meal. So you acknowledge, you give them the thumbs up and say, like, later, could I get something or whatever? They'll be so more appreciative that you're letting them have their moment with their family than you just go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because they're with their fucking family, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. And act like you've been there. Again, they're still humans. I am a fan of Mike
Their
Evans'
children don't understand this either. You got to remember, they got their wife and their girlfriend. They might have not seen their husband in a couple of fucking days because they've got training camp and blah, 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 blah. You see them in a fucking restaurant and,
you're taking away their time. You're taking away their quality time.
Give people their like privacy to a degree, and it's like, yeah, if for the autograph goers or whatever, or picture takers or whatever you want to call yourselves, you let them have their moment. You say, hey, when you guys are done, do you mind if I get a picture or something? Because I don't want to disturb you. They'll be so fucking appreciative that you thought that. They'll be like, yeah, man. They'll probably come to you and go, do you want to get that picture now?
Yeah,
because you've given them the time with their family, because you've shown respect. It's like, I acknowledge that you're here and I'm a big fan of yours, but I'd love to get your autograph, but I don't want to like waste your time right now. Can I catch you later? Yeah. We'll get a picture. We'll get this. They'll do it fucking fun.
Right. Hell, be like, hey, Evans, shout out to the Bucs report. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if we're that cool, I'm like, I go throw that Bucs report shit in there. Like, one of y'all, just if you can't say it, I know y'all legally can't, but get one of your homeboys to say, check out Bucs report. We talk good shit. We talk good stuff. It ain't always gonna be what you want to hear, but it's gonna be what you need to hear.
Hey, we just say what we think.
Exactly. And on that note, I'll let you go.
We don't always think we're right either. That's the beauty of the show. I don't think I'm right. It's just that we all happen to agree. Sometimes we agree with each other, sometimes we don't. We have a compelling discussion about it because that's what the show's about. It's the aftermath, baby.
Exactly. Now, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to Byron Leftwich, I was always right. I ain't gonna say that shit. Now, with him, I was always right. But anywho, I'll let you get ready to roll out.
You needed to do a Byron Leftwich out shit. That should have been your first ever official piece.
I know. I thought about it, but I did not want that ugly ass.
Him with that little McDonald's cap on, I think.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to scare people. Now, if it was Halloween, then maybe. All I got to do is put HB
you start a petition, you start people, getting on it. That's merchandise sales, brother.
I should have did HB counter and with a slash in the middle of that shit and say death to HB counters, because God, that was the worst shit. But let me go ahead and get my ass up out of here. I know it's getting late over there for you. But
guys, I'm about 4 o'clock, so I gotta go too.
I want to thank you all for out there for joining us and commenting. Please check us out. Bucs Report, The Aftermath. You can always catch us either Monday or Wednesdays. That's right, either or. And again, check us out, and always do not be afraid, Bucs, to throw some questions in there or your opinions. call in.
Hell, you
We
can
got
come on as well. We're about that. If anyone wants to come and just discuss generally about Buccaneers football, we don't want people coming on just talking about their stuff. But we have guests. We have Sean. Sean's been on before to talk about his Commodores. We've had other guys in the past that come about their team, and we're all about that.
Yes,
But
sir.
obviously, if there's anyone watching that is a fan of another team, if you want to come on, we're probably not going to talk about your team unless we face you on that week, because that's, we've got to talk about it.
Exactly. So, guys, again, always a pleasure. And then you can always catch me just on my regular podcast. It's about Bucking Time. You can check my page and Linktree and check out the good merchandise this summertime. So I always say, turn up in style and respect the process. And I fair due to everybody. And at the end of the day, go Bucs!
Go Bucs. I'll see you soon, brother. Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. We'll probably be back Monday. We wanted to do the Wednesday edition today because of the Creamsicle drop or release. I don't like that word drop. It sounds like you've not in control of what you're doing. Anyway, so Monday this week, probably Wednesday next week, probably Wednesday the week after that, and we're probably back to Monday then. Only because my team's got its last 3 games of the season, so we go against Northants Knights, Birmingham Bull, Northants Knights, Chester Romans, and Birmingham Bulls to close out the season, and then that will be on the 6th of this next month. And then I'm back to we'll probably be doing training camp live, and we'll be talking all things training camp, and that should be on Mondays or whatever day suits us best. So it'll be kind of like, when's the best story to come out? We'll kind of try and work around that. Without further ado, look after yourselves. Enjoy Creamsicle Day. If you get any Creamsicle jersey, please drop in the comments, what have you. I'll check the comments as they are in YouTube and what have you. Post of this show. Let me know who you're getting Creamsicle. Me, I'm going to go Rondé Barber, and I'm stuck. I've got the Holy Trinity. I've got Mike Evans, Levante David, or Antoine Winfield. It's going to be one of those 3. I just don't know which. Anyway, let me know who you're going for. Much love. Bucs on me. Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs!